What is up, everybody? This is Lyle with No Hippie Barbecue. What I'm going to be doing today is going to be some beer braised tacos. Now, ever since I got these taco racks from TacoRack.com, I've been on a little bit of a taco kick. I ain't going to lie to you. These things are excellent. We'll get to this later down the road. Anyway, I have about a 3.5 pound chuck roast that is just about completely frozen. So we are going to braise it. In our braise, we're going to have some red onions, some jalapenos, some white onions. And what I do is whenever I have like seasoning that's getting to the bottom where it's really not worth using, I put it all into just one random container. Basically what we're going to do is just throw in these random seasonings. You could use whatever seasonings you want, but this is just a combination of everything that I had that I wanted to get rid of. Our tacos are going to be made with what I always like using is some white corn tortillas. As far as the beef goes, or as far as the cook goes, it's going to be pretty simple. Like I said, we are going to just throw it in a pan. I'm going to go ahead and throw in my onions. Very simple recipe, seriously. The hardest part is just waiting for this chuck roast to get done. We got our jalapenos, our onions, and then our random seasonings. Now, like I said, you could use salt and pepper. You could use whatever seasoning you want in this. Let's just go ahead and throw that on. And from what I'm looking at on this seasoning, this just has a lot of cayenne pepper, paprika, salt, garlic, things like that. We're going to go ahead and hit it with our beer. I'm using a Red Stripe beer on this. Any kind of beer would work. Red wine would be even better. I just happen to have beer on here. Now you're going to want this to cover the meat about... It doesn't need to cover it the whole way, it just needs to cover it about 3/4 of the way. What I'm going to do now, which you probably don't need to see, I'm going to foil this up and I'm going to throw it in the oven. We're going to be cooking at about 405 degrees. I want this to get done real fast. While this is cooking, we're going to get working on one of my favorite hot, well, it's not even really a hot sauce, it's more of a Mexican red sauce. We're going to get to that while this is cooking. When it comes to making this red sauce, this is one of those things that you just kind of have to wing it. There really isn't any recipe that I have for this. It comes out a little bit different every time. But what you want to do is get some of these little red peppers. And you know what? I've used a few different variations of these peppers, but any of them will work. We're just going to throw those in just a pot because we're going to add a little bit of water to them. I have some roasted garlic, so we're going to go ahead and add this in. And I'm sorry I don't have a specific recipe on this. This literally is one of those things that's going to be different just about every time you make it. So we have that in. We're going to add water to cover it about double. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, we're going to throw this on the stove with the lid on top of it. We're going to cook it for about 15 to 25 minutes. Chuck roast is in the oven. We're going to cook that until it's fork tender. That should be about 3.5 hours. It wasn't completely thawed, but we are cooking at a higher temperature. Let's go ahead and make this sauce. Now we have the peppers with some water in there. We reduced that down. We've got our garlic in there. And I'd say that we are down to about equal parts water, equal parts pepper right now. We're going to go ahead and throw in some salt. And this is all to taste. Some cumin. And we're going to go with a little Mexican oregano. And we are going to blend. Actually, that's pretty much spot on right there. Now we're going to do, we have a strainer. I'm going to go ahead and strain this out. And basically what that's going to do is get the skins and all the rough stuff from those chili peppers out. So we're just left with the nice little sauce. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and strain this out. I'm going to bottle it up in some squirt bottles. This meat probably has about another couple hours to go. And I guess we'll convene when the chuck roast is done. So this chuck roast just came out of the oven after being in there for about 4 hours. We're going to take it out. And I did test it about 30 minutes ago. What I'm looking for is for it to be fork tender, which is what it is now. So we're going to go ahead and take it out of this pot. We're just going to kind of shred it. We're going to get out all the jalapenos, onions, everything that was in there earlier. And we'll go ahead and shred this here in a minute. What I do want to do while my oven's still hot, because I did turn it off, was we have our tacos here that are in our taco rack. Typically, I would go ahead and fry these in some oil, but I'm going to try something different using a little bit of a canola oil spray. So we're going to go ahead and spray these tacos with this spray. And then I'm going to throw these in the oven at 350 degrees for about 15, maybe 20 minutes until they're crispy. My little experiment just using the canola oil, that really didn't work out all that well. So what I did was go ahead and just fry those in a skillet in a little bit of canola oil. If you're not familiar with that, I do have a video showing that technique. I'll put that video in the iCard above and the description below. Anyway, all we're going to do now is we're just going to go ahead, throw a little bit of guacamole in here. And these taco racks are excellent. As a matter of fact, my daughter was a little upset one day because she couldn't get a taco rack taco. And she was worried about them not being crunchy enough. And she's over here looking at me now like I'm a fool. Anyway, this is a nice little product. I think she will vouch for it. Anyway, I'm going to finish loading these up. We got some guacamole in here. Got the shredded beef. We're going to go ahead and add some of this in. And top it with a little bit of our sauce right here. Boom. And I'll see you back. Alright, got these things hooked up. Time to dig in, see what's up with this taste. Now my wife and daughter have already tasted these and they said they were the bomb. I would say it's all that. If you're thinking about getting these taco racks, the way I see it most being used is with those like pre-formed, like, you know, Taco Bell hard shell type tacos. Do yourself a favor, get some corn tacos, cook those things, a little bit of oil, form them up in this. Throw them in the oven to crisp them up. It's the bomb. Trust me on that. Anyway, as far as the meat goes, you can taste all that peppers, onions, all that stuff coming through. The guacamole is guacamole. That sauce was pretty good we put on top, but overall a pretty damn good taco. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and knock this out. Thanks for stopping by No Hippie Barbecue. I appreciate it. Comment, subscribe, and I'm out.